Phlebology as a field is constantly evolving, and thanks to the great variety of new technologies available, specialists are able to provide way more efficient therapies. In your opinion, what aspects provided the greatest innovations?
So I think phlebology is moving fast now, but after centuries of not moving at all. I mean, if we look back, 120 years ago, when the high tie strip by Trendelenburg, or high tie first of all, came in, and really very little moved until the 1940s, 1950s, when there's a bit of perforated vein work. Venography brought things along, and it's really been only since endovenous surgery came in that things have really moved forward. Probably on the diagnostic side a bit before that with venous duplex ultrasound, and now we're just in this fantastic storm of improvement. And I think just to turn around and say this is the new technologies for the treatment, because we have all these new treatment techniques coming, is probably missing the point. I think what's really interesting is the new diagnostic ways we have. We're realizing that function is so important, and hence duplex ultrasound was the first after handheld Doppler that didn't stop looking at the anatomy and just looked at the function. But now, of course, we're starting to see more and more functional tests, more and more functional understanding coming forward. So I'd hate to put my hand in the air and say that one technology was above the others. I think everything that helps us understand phlebology better and what's happening to patients, and also then takes us further forward into better treatments, is very important. And it's really an inching forward on different diagnostic and treatment aspects that make it such an exciting field at the moment.
How crucial is it this day to continuously exchange experiences among the scientific community in order to improve?
So we have a very active research program at the Whiteley Clinic, and we're always thinking about veins. But of course, you end up in an echo chamber if you only sit there reading a few papers now and again and talking to the same people. So coming to conferences such as Veins in Venice is absolutely essential. I think in the last 24 hours, I've come up with more new ideas than I had done in the last year of being at home just thinking by myself and talking to one or two colleagues. You meet world-class people from all over the world, obviously internationally, they've flown in. But really interestingly, although it's always worth talking to those people who are already well known, there are many new people coming on who are relatively unknown, but clearly have fantastic ideas and thought processes. And some of them don't know the history of what's been done before or not. And the combination of being able to talk to them with their innovative ideas and also being able to educate them as to which ideas have been tried and failed before, it leads to a very, very fertile ground. And that's why these in-person conferences are so important. You can never replace this with the online conferences.
What is your opinion on the use of the newest technology, such as the increasingly widespread use of AI, in terms of cost effectiveness?
I'm not sure in terms of cost effectiveness. AI is a very interesting tool at the moment, certainly in our area, because we're right at the front. If you use just things like ChatGPT and you're using AI for trying to find out about venous surgery, you're going to get what's the body of opinion. In other words, it's probably going to be like most vein clinics, it's going to be about 10 to 20 years behind. It's not really going to give you much in the way of help looking forward. AI is meant to be useful in writing research papers. I don't use it myself. I don't like the idea of that. I think you should write things originally. Although I recently tried to publish a paper in one journal and they wouldn't allow me to publish it until I had an AI review of it first and took some of their suggestions. So it's certainly coming in. With some of the new technologies, we haven't really got into AI at the moment on duplex ultrasound, and certainly not on treatments. But with the high-intensity focused ultrasound, I think that's the first integrated diagnosis, imaging, and treatment platform, and I think that will be enhanced by AI itself. Finally, on just the research side, we've got some very innovative products which I can't talk about at the moment coming through Whiteley Medical Instruments, which is a new company we're setting up. And some of the data that's coming out will be enhanced by machine learning, which is a form of AI. I predicted what a lot of the results would be, but of course, when you actually get the data, if you go through it by hand, you can miss out things. Whereas if you use machine learning and AI, you can actually find a lot more data hidden from ClearView.
Shall we talk about your latest work that you introduced today?
So yes, I haven't actually produced too much of my latest work. I've been talking more of opinion pieces today. I think my interest at the moment is trying to stop people going off at tangents. I think, for instance, we've had a very active discussion about perforators, and a lot of people start off by saying that they don't think perforators are that important. And then you have a whole session on recurrent varicose veins, and virtually every single person in their presentation pointed out the importance of perforators in recurrence. So we have this sort of a strange feeling in the research world where we come to the conferences with sort of our set views, and then at the conferences we start questioning ourselves, and certainly if we have open minds and listening to other people. So a lot of the work at the moment I've got and I go around promoting is based upon trying to get people to analyse what they're saying. So when you'll always hear doctors saying, "Oh, treat the patient, not the image," but then they'll then present things saying such as, "Oh, you should only treat people with C2S and more," where of course if the patient comes to you and said, "I don't like my thread veins," then you're clearly not treating them, you're just following a guideline. So I think a lot of work at the moment that I'm spending time doing is on the understanding and the way forward we should be going as phlebologists. We do have some new treatments coming out, and we have some new devices coming out, but unfortunately this hasn't been the conference we've had because they're not quite ready yet. But hopefully that will come out later in the year. Hopefully I'm invited for this conference next year.
What do you think was most interesting in today's event, and what aspects would you suggest we give more emphasis in the future?
In this conference itself, I don't think I've learned anything that's definitely new. I saw a very nice MRI technique that was being patented and brought in from Singapore that actually does give a very, very good view of the veins, but I'm not sure how useful it will be. There was a lot of discussions about the optimal way forward, and I think the discussions have been the most important. I haven't seen any new technologies that have made me sit and think, but then again, that's because in our position at my clinic, we get brought most of the new technologies and we've already assessed them and decided to go forwards with the patient. So I think people coming to the conference, they'll see a lot of new things that they don't see in their practice. But if you're already evaluating new things for companies, of course, then it's rare to see anything too new. What is important always, though, is to look at the new attitudes and the way that people are thinking about venous disease and taking it forward, and that's been very important.